Hello everyone, I'm DonTheCrown, and today let's talk about the Steel Champion. And I got some great news for you. This build pretty much escaped nerfs. The only real nerfs is that the minus cost on jewelry got a little tagged, it's down a little bit, and that's pretty much it. Big plus, looks like Paradoxica might be extremely strong this league due to the fact that unveiling mods now always gives you the higher tier than you could ever possibly acquire before in the past. And so I could see like up to a 4 to 5% more damage just from that on a good Paradoxica, but it remains to be seen how good that's going to be. Also, there's some new options which I'm going to play around with, but I'm not going to include in this particular guide with the new support gems and the new low life stuff. I think there should be some really good shenanigans. But let's get into the POB. Let's talk about the actual build. I don't want to make this too long. There definitely will be an update because I will be league starting this build. And so if you want to see what I'm doing and how my league start is going, just come by the Twitch, come by the channel. I'll be streaming a lot. And so you can just ask any questions, get some guidance. There'll be a lot of other people that are playing the build, either like on the channel or on the Discord. Check the Discord in the description below. But this is kind of going to be the general build guide POB. This is very low gear type of POB. This is pretty much very similar to my actual gear that I was, I think, starting tier 16s or something on last league. But the gear, honestly, not very amazing at all. The only thing I would say is really good is the 6-link chest, and the Nomad is very nice. I think I even had that up with Catalyst and things. And so, but both of them are pretty cheap. It's not really hard to get a 6-link in the first couple days of the league because you get them corrupted, you get from divination cards. There's a lot of different ways to get that, right? And so right now we're looking at about 4 million DPS with Shattering Steel. Now you might be like, all right, Don, I mean, I know you said this is your POB from the past, blah, blah, blah. Does it actually still work? Can you actually make this happen? And so we did a little test run. This is basically very close to the same gear, but all of my gems on this character are level like 2 and 3 and 1 to really just make it difficult for me. And yeah, this was definitely not super duper easy. We're on 5k life, but we were running this a little bit earlier today, and we managed to be doing tier 16s mostly fine. Rares were a little bit hard. I mean, we're missing a lot of our damage at this point. Just a reminder that a lot of our support gems do add flat damage, but this is a Hydra map, and as you can see, I'm clearing pretty aggressively, getting in there. Things are dying, and so for like basically like day 0 level of gear, I think for clearing a tier 16 at this pace, this is pretty dang good. Now I did manage to kill the Hydra deathless, but it was really slow, so I won't torture you with that just yet. But yeah, like even on basically no damage, the build does work. Now one thing I do want to point out is that when you're playing Shattering Steel, it is really important that you don't treat this like a ranged skill. Shattering Steel does more damage, 100% more damage, with hits and ailments per steel shard consumed at the start of their movement. And this bonus lowers the farther they travel. And you always consume 2 steel shards with Shattering Steel, which means at point blank, you're doing 200% more damage with just Shattering Steel. And you also have point blank support, point blank, the node on the tree. And so you're doing a lot of damage right here, but if you're trying to like hit them as far away as you possibly can, you're doing a lot less damage. So it's really important that you're like jumping in there, attacking enemies, and using Call of Steel to pull out the shards. You really shouldn't be like reloading all of the time. You will get 1 steel shard back for every single impale on every single enemy that you pull out with Call of Steel. So if you attack a full group of enemies and then Call of Steel, your steel shards should recuperate to full each time. So you don't have to sit there and spam Call of Steel by any means. You can just get them all back right away. And it's a little bit difficult when you're first playing the build to kind of keep your eye on the Call of Steel shards up in the corner, but it's really important. Another things I've seen a lot is that setting up your POB is really, really important. So you want to make sure you have your diamond flask checked. You always want to have a diamond flask while you're using Terminus Est. Frenzy charges on, impaled recently, and then super important, steel shards consumed. I always put 4 because I assume that I can check for lancing steel as well. But if you put 2 for shattering, it works. But you notice that if I put 0, that number goes way down. It's almost like the mechanics aren't working. So that's really important. Once again, being close has a lot of impact on your damage. Even at 10, that's fine. But if I go to no information here, you lose a lot of damage once again. And by the way, this is not even with Uber Lab, right? This is just Merc Lab type of damage. So it's not really all that crazy. Now, I did put a lot of notes in the notes section of this POB. If you go here to notes, this is basically almost everything you need to know for leveling. Now, I did not include a lot of the new stuff in here. I did include life tap support at level 8. It might be pretty good for either shattering or leap slam. Life tap support is pretty much 1/2 of blood magic support. And what this is going to let you do is spend life for your skills as opposed to mana. And if you spend enough life, you basically get more damage with supported skills. And so you can put that on your leap slam and you don't have to worry about mana so much anymore. Now, whether or not that's going to be a good idea is a different story. You might be leap slamming yourself to death. You might need vitality support then to keep up your life. I might even put that here in the notes. Use vitality if you intend to life tap. Because, yeah, you're going to be spending a lot of your life to leap slam. But you won't have to have like 3 mana flasks. Now, test it out. Might be terrible, might be good. But I really do think some of those supports are going to be insane. Honestly, this build really carried me last league. Super duper hard. The harvest nerfs do suck, don't get me wrong, but really most of our gear doesn't really rely on harvest mods in order to get big damage. The glove mod with the Maven's impale damage, you can still get at least 1 Maven mod eventually, but it's not super big. Just getting percentage impale on your glove is good enough to get you started. Hat was pretty much all defensive mods for the most part. Our body armor, it kind of sucks a little bit. It's going to be a little hard to get minus cost, crit, and then other good mods on that chest, but you can make it happen. Especially because you can continuously reroll prefixes in some of these cases. Our boots wasn't really big damage, it was mostly defensive stuff. And our rings and amulet are all non-influenced items, which means you can pretty much still blast all of the available harvest crafts with the augments and stuff, so you can get some pretty good things. There's not going to be any annulls anymore, so you have to be a little bit fancy with your crafting, but it's not like it's completely dead at all. And I know some of you are going to say, but Don, the actual budget of this build is ridiculous, I can't get it. I mean, don't necessarily judge your progress based off my progress. Yes, I'm probably going to be dual wielding a Paradoxica and a Savior again by like day 5 or 6 with really decent gear, but I play this game for a living. Like, this is what I do full time as a content creator here on Twitch and on YouTube, and this is like, I spend a lot of time playing the game. And so if you're playing a lot less time, don't expect to like be at the same pace. Like, it's, you know, really your journey, and like comparing it in terms of like you need to be at the exact same spot as me is not really a good idea. But really with this build guide, what I'm trying to do is show you the steps for a really strong build. I know for sure that if you follow these steps and you play the build, that you're going to have a lot of success. Now, this is not going to 100% face tank everything, but I think if you add in some life gained on hit from either I think it's Elder or Hunter rings, or Watcher's Eye with Vitality life gain on hit, you can get a lot of tankiness as well. And we'll have to check out to see for Petrified Blood if that works really, really well. But I think there's a lot of ways to be tanky with this build. I kind of focus a lot towards damage, but overall, it's a really great build, really, really solid. Come check me out on Twitch to see how it's working for me, and hope that this league Ultimatum is working out great for you. Thank you much. Hope you have a great day. think we nailed it. Woo.